I have faced the hardest quest in Monster Hunter 4U. It's so hard, I don't even want to play it again. In fact, I won't. Welcome back, Classic Crew, to another journal entry in my journey to slay every Fatalis, and I have a story to share with you about the hardest quest so far. This is not a quest that you would find on your typical Monster Hunter 4U cartridge because, of course, it's a modded quest which was provided to me by my community because they feel I'm not suffering enough in Monster Hunter 4U despite me carting a lot more in high rank. Like, things are killing me. I am struggling in Monster Hunter 4U. I am not comfortable with the Charge Blade. But let me tell you about this BS quest that the mods put together for me. So, first of all, no context. They just say, here you go, we're gonna do this quest together. So we go into the Volcanic Hollow. It's a suit stone carrying quest. So I go all the way down to region 9, pick up my suit stone. Everything looks fine. I'm like, okay, what's gonna happen? Devil Joe's gonna come out of the ground. I did not know it was modded, by the way, at this point. And as soon as I leave region 9, I get into a little area and I see some conchus, some massive conchus. I didn't even know they could be that big. And later I learned they don't, they're modded. So there's these massive conchus everywhere. I'm just like, how am I gonna climb this wall? They're so friggin' big. So somehow I climbed, and that's just the beginning. That's just the beginning of the bullshit because it keeps getting worse. As you continue, you are faced with every possible bullshitty thing that could want to hurt you. The next region is Mealinxes, which aren't too bad. You can zigzag around them. The next region is, I'm getting messed up as to what it is. I think it was either the things that charge you or it was the little paralyzing raptors. And so in that region, I remember I'm trying to climb the wall because I'm close to region 1. I was like, what the hell? Why can't I climb any wall? So the mods put freaking boulders in front of all the walls. So you have to take this massive detour into another region with humongous mosquitoes. And I don't know if you've ever seen these mosquitoes up close with the big stinger when they're gigantified. That stinger is even worse. And then you have to jump down this massive cliff. So if you don't have feline lander, you fail the quest. Luckily, they told me ahead of time, eat for feline lander. So they did take care of me. And the whole time, your health is dropping. Also, they gave me Mega Dash juice. So props to the mods for not being entirely cruel. So I got my juice. They're healing me because there's no way I could have made it all this way with the health I had. And then I get to, and Blue, one of my mods, is also carrying the second suit stone behind me. We get to the top. I drop the stone in the box and I'm like, drop the stone, Blue. I only need 2. Let's complete this quest. And he just basically just waves, says sorry, drops the stone on the floor. All the mods drop out of the quest and they're like, you're on your own now. Get that last stone. Like, so of course I'm not one to walk away from a challenge. So I go out, I get the stone. I'm hustling on my own. I know the path. I'm like, I gotta book it. I got no one to heal me, so I gotta book it. I make it to the top. I see the chest and my health, boop, disappears and I fail the quest. I'm like, I'm never doing that again. Never doing that again. If you're interested in trying this quest for yourself, I'm sure the mods will be in the comments below and they will surely find a way to give it to you. You can also join the HeyJ Discord community. You'll find the quest there if you want to have a terrible time. Now let's talk about the real game, the fun stuff, the not so cruel, the fair challenging stuff. So I am getting close to the end of high rank and I'm also dealing with the high rank variants of all of these monsters. Like Najarala, I am constantly surrounded by this thing, and every time I'm trying to hit him, he's always got like his little tip thing that's like a shield that makes me bounce off of him. So I've been struggling to, because I don't like being inside Najarala. I'm always trying to get out of it because I know he's gonna squeeze me like a snake does. But now I've given up. I can't get out because as soon as I get out, I reposition, he's around me again. Like, he's just so good at wrapping himself around me. So I'm like, you know what? A charge blade is what it's called, right? A charge blade lets me swing this axe all around me and I'm surrounded by Najarala, so let's go. So I've just embraced, I'm like, I'm going to hold my ground here, swinging my axe. I'm like, I can slam in any direction and I will hurt him. So far, it's been okay. The ROI has been good on that gamble. Next up, we got some new monsters that I fought. I fought the Azure Rathalos, my first Brute Tigrex outside of World, and the Stygian Zinogre, which, oh, I actually failed that quest. So the Azure Rathalos, I don't have much to say outside of, in this game, Rathalos and Azure Rathalos really don't feel that different. Like in the other games, Azure Rathalos, outside of being more beautiful, is noticeably more in the air. But in 4U, base Rathalos is so much in the air I don't see a difference between these two. So I just think Azure looks better, but I'm glad that they changed Rathalos maybe to make him a little bit more grounded in the next games, because right now it's just a different color. Brute Tigrex. So I'm not a big fan of Tigrex, and I haven't really had the chance to fight many variants of Tigrex. Brute Tigrex, I remember fighting him in World. I was kind of terrified, but I went in with some massive earplugs, and he was super easy. So my first instinct when I saw Brute Tigrex, I need some like earplugs, and I started looking at skills and armor. I was like, oh my god, this is gonna take me 4 hours to get some earplugs. So I was like, let's just try the fight, and it was pretty manageable. I was surprised. He does a lot of like spinnies. He does do a lot of roars that hurt, but as long as you're not in his face, like in front of him, you can dodge the roars pretty easily. You got to see the tell when he does his spin. And for the most part, it's not like that much harder than the base Tigrex, honestly. Speaking Zinogre, however, whole different story. Okay, it doesn't help that my armor is weak to dragon, first of all. That's another problem. My armor right now, it's cool. I've got some cool skills, but I'm weak to fire and dragon. Stuff that I can nullify with some food, but as soon as I cart once, the odds go massively in the monster's favor if they are a fire or a dragon type. So this boy was just knocking my health down like significantly. So it's just a matter of learning the pattern. Like, he made me cart 5 times before I got him. So he made me fail the quest. I almost failed again because he would just land on me, or like he moves really fast. But I mean, he's got such a killer soundtrack. I know you can't talk about Zinogre fight without talking about the soundtrack, because it's just so good. I know I've repeated this like 20 times on this channel. It's that good. It's probably my favorite monster fighting song. So glad I finally beat him, but like I'm really at a point where I need an alternate armor set to make up for my weakness, and I was going to farm that in a multiplayer stream, but I ended up doing a bunch of other stuff. In fact, I ended up farming because I needed a Brute Tigrex to get the fangs to get my charge blade leveled up. I needed 2 of those, so I got that. But to get a Brute Tigrex in hub rank, I needed to level up to, I think, Hunter rank 6 or 7. So anyways, I did that. I leveled up to Hunter rank 7, but I ended up just like fighting all these other monsters and not actually focusing on armor, just because I was having a good time. I was checking out quests. I was like progressing. In fact, I had a Celtis Queen quest that I started off my multiplayer challenge with. And I'm not very familiar with what the rare drops are yet. So I kill the Celtis Queen, I harvest, and I see something I haven't seen in a while, which was called like the Celtis Queen extract. I was like, is that the rare drop? And then we go to the reward screen, and I see I got 2 more of those. I was like, oh, it's not rare. I got 2 more of them. And the chat's like, oh my god, this guy's luck. So it turns out it is the rare drop. And I got 3 of them, 1 off the carve, 2 out of the rewards, which is wild to me. I've never seen that. Maybe like in the older games, I haven't seen it. The newer games, like they give you rare drops like crazy. I don't even know why they call them rare drops anymore. Made all of those unlocks, and I've seen what is coming up next. And man, I am getting a little concerned. So my next story quest is a Brachydios, a high rank Brachydios. And I'm realizing for Charge Blade, maybe I just don't know how to use the Charge Blade properly. I feel the Charge Blade to Brachydios matchup is really hard. With the Switch Axe, I didn't struggle as much. Like in World, I hadn't even mastered the Switch Axe, and I killed whatever the evolved form of Brachydios is. Like I did okay. But here in 4U, I'm just really struggling. He's just jumping everywhere. I can't get close to him, and when I am getting close to him, he's making the ground on fire. He's putting slime everywhere. He is hard, so I'm not looking forward to that. So the next stuff in Hub is Teostra, Kushala, Devil Joe, Silver Rathalos, Gold Rathian, Rajang. Like, it is just a 7-layer cake of pain coming up. Is that 7? I've also got a Acantor. I don't even know what an Acantor is, which is so cool that I have never heard of this monster. But also, why haven't I heard of this monster? Is he that bad? Like just in a sucky way that nobody talks about him. So I've come across him. I saw the little icon, and he looks like a spiky Tetsukabra. I know nothing about an Acantor. In fact, when I saw the quest come up, I'm like, oh, Agnactor is in this game. Wait a minute, there's a few letters missing. And the chat was just like, ugh, Acantor. Like nobody was like, yay, or oh, I can't wait to see him fight. Like, there was just no love for Acantor. So really curious to see what that's going to be about. So that's where I am in the monsters. On a note for 4U, I've realized that, I don't know at what point this happens, but I've realized every village has its own side quest story. And now I see the pattern, and I love this. So like I've realized in the main village that you start off with, I'm sorry, I forget the name of it. You've got like the Aiden love story going on. So, you know, you're progressing the quest. Aiden's trying to charm the guild marm, trying to marm charm her, I think, as they say. And you're constantly like trying to stop him from doing that. Then on Sunsnug Isle, or whatever, the beach, Chico Sands, you've got the cowardly Palico, who's like, I've been following his story, so I'm doing all his fights, and I'm learning he's the one that actually wants me to slay an Acantor, I think, to like do something about avenging his father or something. So like this is world building. Like I've said this before for 4U, but this is how you do some world building. Like keep those quests coming. And to be fair, I'm pretty sure they do this in all the other games. I don't think this is exclusive to 4U, but I think because you have so many villages in 4U, it just stood out to me more. And I think the way it's delivered, the way it's packaged, just had more of an impact on me here. So love what that's doing. Now I was saying I need to level up my game because I'm dying a lot more. I'm struggling with monsters. I've started now bringing drugs with me, so buffing my offense and defense. I've also realized I don't have enough like farm supply to maintain this like line of drugs. So now I'm getting all strategic, like, okay, what items do I need to farm? Oh man, I don't have enough farm slots. And this is the first time really where I feel my farm is too small. In all the other games, I'm just like, yeah, I've got so many items coming, or like, I'm okay with my farm. I don't need to upgrade it. Here, like, I really wish I could have 5 slots of farm because I need so many items. I need to populate my inventory with so many side things. Like I need to go on expeditions. And this is good because this shows that the balance in this game is they don't reward you easily enough where you have to use these systems that the game offers you. So I'm actually loving that the game is pushing me to you know, it's challenging me, and I got to think of other ways to make up for my like lack of skill or my weakness. So that's where I'm at. I've also realized that the high rank gimmick is freaking Sergio shows up everywhere, which is getting a little old at this point. All these quests I'm fighting, and then Sergio's is like, I'm here. I have some spikes. I'm like, oh, God, just go away. Go away. I get you're the flagship, but stop it. Stop. Like, you are getting annoying. And lastly, just a little note on my combo. I haven't done guard point yet. That is going to be the final evolution of my playstyle. But I have learned that my combo I've described on the channel before of how I used to do it. I would do the double button, which lets me step in, do the sword, the whoosh whoosh, then charge that into the shield, and then do it another time so I can charge the shield red. Anyways, what I've learned is that there was a slow, like there was a pause when I did my step in whoosh whoosh, and then, oh, that's what I do. I would hold until the flash and then hit. This is probably only meaningful to the charge blade people. So I've learned that after I do the whoosh whoosh, instead of doing like the charge and smack, if I go straight to the shield punch, it lets me loop over the combo without missing a beat. So it makes me a lot more maneuverable. It doesn't leave me vulnerable, and it lets me charge my shield faster. So I have evolved my charge blade skill a little bit. I'm not very fluid in pulling it off, but now like I actually try to do that so I'm not left with that opening. And then as I get more comfortable with that, I'm eventually gonna have to sit down with a Gaijin Hunter video and learn freaking guard point. I think in G rank that's going to be my goal. I've heard that it's good training with the Diablos to figure out how to do it, and we're gonna master it, and we're gonna make it through this game, kill everything, but especially those Fatalises. So thank you again for joining me on this journal. I'll see you on the next one or on the stream, and until next time, keep it classy.